Alright, we're going to do a video on how to wire up a headlight on a pit bike. There's my high beam. There's my low beam. Okay? Here's what you got to do. You have to buy one of these. This is a rectifier. This is a 4-pin rectifier. Okay? Now on your wiring harness coming off of your motor, let me show you where it comes from. On your gear shifter side, there'll be a wire coming out of your case. It goes up here and it'll be on your frame. You may have to take your seat and your gas tank and plastics off to do this, which I didn't have to do that when I did mine. I just, and on the X Pro, X9, there's already a bolt hole here, and so I just mounted it there. But on your rectifier, get the 4-pin. There's going to be 4 wires. 2 wires are going to go to your wiring harness off of the motor. 2 wires are going to go to your headlight or to a switch. Okay? Now, there's going to be 4 wires if you get the 4-pin. On this one, it has a green, a yellow, a pink, and a red. Okay? Your yellow and pink are the wires that go to your motor, to your wiring harness. Now, there's 2 wires coming off of my wiring harness that weren't being used. You can use either of these. There's 2 yellows coming off. So I put yellow to yellow, yellow to pink. Doesn't matter which wire, as long as you use the right ones off of your rectifier, as far as I know. Okay, and then what's left over is your green and your red. Your green is going to be your ground, and your red is going to be the power. Okay, now on this type of switch, I have 2 switches, which you could have 2 separate switches. There's 3 wires that come off of this one and 3 that come off of this one. So if you only have one light, then you'll just need 1 switch, but there'll be 3 wires that come off of it. And for this switch, if you're going to wire up a switch, then you'll have to tie it in to your rectifier, and then there'll be 1 wire left over that will go to your light. Okay, now you can wire the light straight up and it will run all the time whenever you start the bike. But let me tell you how this works. Okay, you'll have off of your switch, you'll have a black, a brown, and a blue wire. Okay, and if you're running a high beam and a low beam, and like my setup, then you'll take the brown wires and you'll just twist those together to make 2 ends 1 end. Okay, you'll do the same thing with the blue, but your black is going to be the output to your light, so you don't twist those together. Okay, I'll show you what I'm talking about. These 2 wires right here, see, there's 3 wires coming out of that. There's 2 browns and 2 blues. See, I just twisted the 2 blues together, and then behind that are the 2 browns. Okay, the blue is your power off of the motor, which comes, I mean, not the motor, but off of the rectifier. So your switch has 2 blues. You'll put those blue ones to the red wire off your rectifier. Okay, this comes off the rectifier. This comes off the switch, those 2 wires. And then I have a white wire also in there, which is my running light. That runs all the time. I dropped my phone, sorry. So, if you don't have a switch, you'll just run it, the power wire, straight to the red wire, and then run your ground to the green wire, and then you'll be done. But if you're running a switch, you have to put the 2 blue wires to the power, which is red, okay? And then the 2 brown wires go to your green wire, because brown is your ground off of on the switch side. And then also I have a black wire here that's going to the green off of the rectifier. That black wire is going straight to the headlight. That's my ground for the headlight. Let me come over here so you can see what the headlight looks like. See, I have a connector. This goes, all these come from the headlight. There's a white, which is my running light, and that's going to red on the rectifier. Okay, my black, which is going to green on the rectifier because that's the ground. So the only two that are left are the green and the brown wire off of the headlight. Okay, those two are going to go to the last two off of your switch. Figure out which one your high beam is and which one's your low beam, and you decide which switch you're going to use for each one. Now if you just have one switch, you can run this in, those green and the brown, you can run both of those if you just have one switch to the black wire. Because each one of those, think of it like this. There's one ground for this one ground for this one. 2 powers for this one, 2 powers for this one. So there's going to be 2 power wires. Like one that comes from the rectifier, which is the red wire, and then the black one, which goes to your headlight. Now, as far as I know, you can hook them up either one of the power wires. It doesn't matter which one, as long as one is on the red off the rectifier and the other one goes to your headlight. As far as I know. I try to explain this as good as I can. I hope that it's not confusing to anybody. If it is, I can try to help a little bit better. But you'll have to look at your light to be able to tell the color code for your light, because every light will be different. See, mine has 4 wires, because on this headlight there is a running light, a low beam, and a high beam. That's why I have a switch. Now, if yours is just a solid light and that's all you have, and you don't have high and low, you can just run one switch, and then because you won't have as many wires either. And if you just want to run one straight to the rectifier, as long as you put green to the ground off of that, and then whatever color that you have to the red wire off the rectifier for power, it'll come on when you start the bike. But if you have any questions, leave a comment down there and I'll try to make a video to explain better, or whatever I gotta do to help anybody. But like and subscribe for more pit bike content. I'm gonna end the video here.